Clarity, is it imminent? Today it's starting to affect the markets. We'll break it all down for you. Don't want to miss it. I do want to thank our sponsor, and that, of course, is iTrust Capital, where you guys can get into your own crypto IRA. You can do this with almost any digital asset that is out there, whether you're starting a new one, rolling one over. You can use iTrust Capital. Very easy to set up, and best of all, no fees monthly. All you have to do is trade and play the fees right there. And of course, you guys get a up to a $100 funding reward just by starting it by using our link. So just get going on that and get out there and take benefit of this. One of the things that we're watching right now, of course, is the deadline for Clarity, which is in 22 days. We believe that is the end of the rope for Clarity. And I think it might be showing up right now. I've got a clip for you. And this clip goes into a little bit of where Kevin Warsh is, first of all, because this is affecting the rest of the market, and how this may play into Fed skinny accounts. Take a look.
We're the only major country in the world that restricts access to the payment system to the consumer-facing banks. So I'm curious about what your thoughts are about the proposal, how it's going, when you expect the rule to be finalized.
Skinnier master account proposals out for comment. It was sent out before I arrived, but I'm keenly interested in what the comments are. If I were to draw a hard distinction, this is a public good, and it's a public good that should be used by intermediaries. I don't want the public good to be used by consumers.
So that's it's out for comment now. Do you anticipate finalizing sometime this year?
I owe you a better answer on the timeline from here, and I pledge to give it to you.
Thank you.
Coming off that clip, you can kind of see, I think there's some frustration. I was kind of surprised that that the senator was a little bit easier on Kevin Warsh, because I think the point is this needs to get done. Why would you not go ahead and get all of this done? This has been out for over a year. These are the kind of problems that we see, of course, with the Fed, and it's really what I think starts to affect the market in general. When you look at the banking side of this, because there's always going to be pushback coming in from the banking industries. You've got the ABA, ICBA, now joining state associations. 76 different state associations are representing thousands of these different, institutions that are pressing against the Clarity Act. And some of the things they're pushing against, guys, I want to read this one for you. This would be: removing this provision aligns with our shared objective to not incentivize the idle holding of payment stablecoins for extended periods of time. That's coming directly from the associations. Retaining this would negate the goals of the upfront prohibition to tether deposit flight while tying rewards directly to how much and for how long customers hold payment stablecoins. Basically what they're saying is they don't even want you using stablecoins or holding them, because if you're holding them, you're not holding their dollar that they can go, of course, on a fractional reserve finance model and go out and lend it 10 times. That's the problem that the banks are really dealing with right now. Patrick Witt kind of addressed it right here. This was in reference to that. Hey, listen, we've answered this. We've asked it, give it a rest. And this has been addressed so many times that the banks, listen, they just don't want it because they understand this is going to start hurting their earnings. And have you watched the earnings calls that have happened this week for most of the major banks? It is insane how much money these companies are earning. Top White House crypto advisor now is taking military leave, and that, of course, is Patrick Witt stepping down. Interesting timing here, guys. I'm just going to say this. I think that the president or someone in the administration could probably get the Georgia National Guard to let him off for a couple of months to try to get this Clarity Act through. Getting this done, I just don't understand why he's stepping down right now. We won't have a voice, essentially, that's representing the industry other than the industry itself. Senator Warren came back in and is urging Senate leaders to now add ethics rules to Clarity. And of course, this would bar officials and their families from profiting crypto. This is the big one that everybody's asking for. That, of course, is an issue that will be very challenging to this administration. But right now, you've got a meeting happening on Thursday, and this is going to try to resolve these Clarity Act provisions that are being presented. But it's the biggest remaining hurdle for the crypto bill. I totally agree with that. If this had some sort of deal that was done, that would be the holy grail for the Clarity Act of being able to go through. I just don't think that the administration is going to concede too much. And talking about concession, You've got this year, right now, we are 1 year in of the Clarity Act being dangled out there in front of us. And it is like a carrot because this is an issue that we have been fighting for a long time. It was supposed to be done last year, August. Here we are moving into August of this year, not done. And of course, Congress, I agree, has failed us. Let me go over to a clip here from Patrick McHenry. This does not make me feel good, guys. I'm just going to give you a trigger warning right now. Take a look.
The Senate is working through its process. You already see a signaling from Leader Thune that they're going to put that on the Senate floor. They're going to try. And trying may actually just dislodge this. This is what happened with the stablecoin bill at the beginning of the Congress. They tried, they had a Senate floor vote. It failed. That then got negotiations going.
All right, so what he's referencing there, it was the Genius Act, and it was kind of the same thing. It went, had a problem. Same situation as here, but the problem is we don't have time. This is now running up against a brick wall because of the issue that's going to have to end up maybe on the other side of the midterms. That is a major concern. So trying might be just say, you know, getting them into a position saying, hey, don't worry about it, guys. We tried to get this done, and it just didn't get through. That is a big problem that I think a lot of these lawmakers continue to throw us under the bus on. Another one that happened here recently was this right here, which was the NDAA advancing now with this new section 1217. This basically is allowing AIPAC, if you guys understand that, to merge very critical elements of the U.S. military and the Israeli military. I don't understand how this is going to fly overall. There's also some very weird things happening here. This is the U.S. Senate Democrats who came out against the Clarity Act, calling it a corrupt bill. Now, I just want you to look at that picture for a moment. The printed signs, really? I mean, come on, guys. Look at these people. They are just so... Did they not get the check yet? Is that what the deal is? I just don't understand. Point being, this is fake. So I wonder what is going on in D.C. Is it all just theater playing around what's happening with the Clarity Act? You have, well, speak of theater, you've got Ben McKenzie out there on Capitol Hill lobbying senators to vote against the Clarity Act. Speaking of good actors out there, there's one right there. And that is the case right now. We are dealing with more theater than reality. And really, if you think about it, this is very impactful, I think, not only to Americans, but a lot of the ability for the U.S. to take a pole position in crypto in general. Another news item that is important to the banks, which is really where Clarity is going, and also where crypto eventually will be going. You've got PayPal up 19%. This is just on the rumor that Stripe and private equity firm Advent International is offering a buyout on this company. So likelihood, the bid is up to $50 billion right now. They have committed bank financing. So that means the deal's probably close to done. But one problem, they've got to get it through the U.S. government in terms of antitrust. So that'll be a question right there. If it does actually get through, that would put a lot of pressure on the banks. The probability, will Stripe acquire any part of, now that could be a possibility, they could buy into it, of PayPal in 26. There is a big jump right there, guys, right there to 78% from what was down here at 20%. Somebody's going to be making a little bit of profit there on that poly market. Just to give an example of what JP Morgan and others are concerned about, this is Jamie Dimon, and he was in reference, this was during the earnings call, and they were talking about the issue of competition, essentially. And he says, hey, you got Stripe, PayPal, Cash App, Block, Chime, SoFi. He understands they're all competing, and it's only going to get more and more competitive in this market. So I can see why the banks continue to push at the issue of Clarity, because this is going to, of course, free up blockchain for a next generation pressure on many of these banks. I want to go to a clip here from Bernie Moreno because he talks about this very issue. Take a look.
What's happened to deposits in American banks since last August? Have they gone up, stayed the same, or gone down?
Deposits held in banks is moving positively over that period.
Or we've had testimony anecdotally from the bank CEOs saying that stablecoins were going to drop deposits in banks. And I just want to point out for the record that the exact opposite has happened. So as they say, that was a bunch of blankety blank argument.
Okay, there is a good example of the banks claiming that this is going to happen. I think eventually you're probably going to see this flight of capital not because of crypto. It's just going to be because of bad banking practices. Crypto just may be one of those things, but it is not the genesis of where this is going to happen. Scott says something right here, and he's talking about JP Morgan says Hyperliquid's new deal with Circle and Coinbase could weaken the USDC revenue. So this is kind of a FUD statement coming out of JP Morgan. And if you look at what they're trying to do, it is actually getting some activity right now, because now you've got some downgrades to Circle, basically underperforming its price target around to $50. So that's a problem if we continue to see FUD going in, because remember, Circle has definitely put some pressure on here. Of course, Cathie Wood, she's not buying it. She's like, no, not a chance. I'm still going all in. Cathie's ARK Invest bought another 220,000 shares of Circle, so extending its July purchase despite the stock's recent sell-off. So she knows something. I think she understands the future of where this is heading. One thing we warned you guys about not too long ago was this right here, and that is the SpaceX IPO hits its post-IPO low of 135.52. This is exactly what we talked about in this video right here, guys, was watch out. This would not end well if you were in it. Now, the SpaceX IPO below what it's offering at. So it's any of these IPOs that are overhyped. Most likely it's going to happen with OpenAI, maybe Anthropic and others out there. But the key is this one was so overprescribed and also subscribed and also overhyped to the point to where we're seeing the market right now. Just look at the chart. This is it right here. It just popped up there to that one wick of 225. Somebody, probably some insiders right there, got some juice. And here it has fallen right there. Let's pray that nobody was buying on this day right here at $200 and has pulled back 32% right now just in the last couple of weeks. So hopefully you guys were not in that. You took a little bit of, not advice, but maybe some research points from us and got you going on the right direction with SpaceX. Listen, let's go over to this topic, which is the AI era. And it starts to present a very intriguing issue that has occurred with IBM. IBM right there on June 2nd was up 13% for the year, trading highest level on record. Then they go out and report just 42 days later, they basically didn't have an AI plan. IBM fell 25%, its biggest daily decline since 1968. I didn't know the company was around that long, but that's when they had that last one. The stock is now down 35% in 42 days. That's erasing $100 billion in market cap. So it's I think this is spot on. If you are a company, no matter who, if you're not preparing in some way to at least give your investors some sort of narrative on AI, this is the issue that you're going to face right now. I want to go to a clip that kind of explains how IBM got in this predicament. Take a look.
Management openly admits that it didn't respond quickly enough and several larger deals slipped through. That to me should be treated more as execution failure on IBM's front. And that's essentially why the market punished the stock so much, because it kind of re-rated recently on expectations for stronger growth, as well as an improving AI exposure tailwind for the company. But that was clearly not the case with this kind of preliminary results.
So you can see the point being is that you're a tech company, you've got to be able to do this. You've got to be able to integrate AI, and you've got to give your investors some kind of at least runway. In many cases, you could probably give them some blue sky runway, but the point is you got to give them something that you're in the planning and works for. And I think that's what's going to be facing the financial sectors very soon when it's related to crypto. If you're not integrated in crypto some way, you're going to get punished for it in the market. Here is a clip of CZ saying that very same thing. Take a look.
To the point where there's many publicly listed crypto companies in America. The American public is heavily invested in crypto. I think most American politicians care about voters. So anybody who's anti-crypto now will probably lose quite a lot of votes. Even if America flip-flops to an anti-crypto government again, I think the rest of the world will probably have adopted, will have progressed quite a bit. And crypto is a decentralized technology. It's blockchains running 24/7. Bitcoin's not going to stop. There will be some negative impacts when this global superpower have negative policies or negative stance towards crypto. But the industry would have developed quite significantly. So it would be very hard to really back. Like, look, if you're anti-AI, you're just not going to have the AI industry, but the AI industry is going to develop in the rest of the world. Once the genie is out of the bottle, once the technology is like spread out, you can't delete it.
All right, so from that clip, it's kind of interesting here because you got a couple of things you've got to look at. One is the U.S. falling behind. Two is the rest of the world stage advancing in what is maybe the most technological important advancement in finance that the world has ever seen. And I would agree with him, but you have American politicians that, of course, whether they think they're trying to get votes or not, I think it really boils down to where's the money coming from. Unfortunately, that's the case. Binance is also eyeing a super app. They're going to go beyond crypto trading. And I think this is the point. Binance is trying to become something bigger. Now, remember, Binance was not involved in the Mika advancement. I'm wondering if they are trying to prep for maybe another run at the U.S. and Europe in a different way. So we'll see how this goes with them because they are starting to push into some other areas. Here's another thing that's happening, and that is Robinhood chain continues to be stellar, and that means they are now live on MetaMask. So you can swap, do a lot of things over there. And this, of course, only positions Robinhood as a much stronger play for this next generation of investor. And this is something that I think the banks and traditional finance are deathly afraid of, is that the next generation investor is going to be doing things completely different. This is a good example of it with this partnership there. Goldman Sachs raised to pay off on that, Goldman Sachs raised the HOOD price target from 137 to 137 from 121. And that's probably low on this. If you look back at the charts on HOOD, this thing actually hit, what was that, 151 back here in October of 2025, right there, 151. It's edging out right now, 115. There's the 137 bump right there, which from where it's trading at today, let's take a look and see what that would give us on going up to 137, right there. 137, still up another 20% based on the current target. So if Robinhood continues to accelerate and win the financial war on Wall Street for next generation investors, okay, maybe this, or they could go super cycle on this as well. So there's a lot of opportunity with that one. This was a new one right here, and this is coming in from virtuals. Basically, if you wanted to get access to some of these, more edgy tokens on Robinhood, but you weren't necessarily wanting to camp it all in one, anyone now is going to be able to compose their own index from tokenized assets on Robinhood chain. That's a big deal because it's going to give you a lot more flexibility. I think this may end up being used, and it's going to be used by agents. So imagine agents starting to trade on this, which is going to happen, guys. We are in the early innings. We may be in the preseason for this, but the point being, we're going to see a lot of agentic protocols really starting to move this direction. Here was Galaxy doing something similarly, and that is for the first time now, institutions can access single, continuously rebalanced rates across Aave, Morpho, and Spark. I just want to kind of step back a minute. That's Galaxy Digital talking about vaults, Aave, Morpho, and Spark. We are in some interesting times. And it's only going to get better because I think this market is going to be exploding as we start to continue the breakout where Bitcoin's trading as we are recording right now at 65K. So nice new one. All right, let's go over to some XRP topics because I thought this was extremely interesting. The DTC has launched something that is insane, and that is a haircut on XRP, especially on these microcap stocks. This would be charged at 35% for XRP because of the risk level that the DTCC says. So they went out and did a whole promotion. I guess it was to me, this is a publicity stunt. Look at what they have to say here. Take a look.
Today marks a major milestone for global financial markets. We're moving from talking points to proof points.
We will demonstrate that the old and the new can live together, hopefully build the foundation that would lead to a scalable launch come October.
Thanks, Nadine. Now let's hear from Brian.
We're really excited for today's events and what it means for the future of finance.
Thanks, Brian. We encourage you to follow along on DTCC.com for updates as the event unfolds. by the time this event concludes, tokenization will no longer be just a promise or a headline. It will be operating in production within trusted market infrastructure. In our first update of the day, JP Morgan successfully tokenized the Invesco NASDAQ 100 ETF.
We participated in the DTCC's limited trade production event to evaluate the feasibility of using tokenized securities within a US-based CCP workflow. For us, the opportunity is clear.
Thank you for sharing those insights.
And it's not just the case that that was a simple move from a wallet to another wallet.
Thanks, Tom.
So very much a real transaction and not a simulation.
Thanks, Aaron.
This isn't a science project. These were real production trades, real assets and real value.
And keep following along as we share more updates. Now let's hear Microsoft's perspective on today's milestone from Bill Borden at Microsoft.
Great, thanks. Microsoft is so excited to partner with DTCC to help advance this effort.
But it's just the beginning.
By connecting our own node to the content network, we were able to demonstrate the seamless, instant transfer of high-quality liquid assets in a production-like environment.
Thanks, Stefan. The amount of companies involved in that transaction is the perfect example of interoperability. Well, we're nearing the end of today's Watershed tokenization event.
I think we might be nearing the end of realization of what the DTCC is trying to do. So crazy stuff out there, guys, right now. So I think you see right through this clearly. Don't worry about it. Head down, carry on, because this is the kind of craziness that we're dealing with in the market. We've got a lot more coming this week. It's going to get closer on clarity, so stay tuned. If you like this video, hit like and subscribe, drop a comment down below, and also join our free private member group. The link is in the description.